Hello and welcome to the DFS underscore PhD show for today, the 7th of March. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough. I got started. Someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us, me. I got 13th in the big tournament and was one garbage time Fox shot away from the thousands. I mean, but come on, am I going to complain? The guy got me 44 points. He took every single shot throughout the entire day. Plus, we lived through the Bryce Sensabaugh sensation. So I have to say that was a delightful day all around. And then that to be tacked on to Low and Jaren Jackson and Şengün was awesome. Plus, it's been I've for a while been wanting to positively influence the actual people who are playing the games because so many people are just rude out here. Like, I can't believe this guy didn't cover, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I was happy to see Bryce Sensabaugh's mom give me a smiley face and a wink because right at lock, this is 8 minutes after the game locked, I said, guess the field's pretty sure Bryce Sensabaugh is going to shoot 2 for 9 again. So I was trolling because I knew probably he's going to take 9 shots. You're not on an NBA team getting 9 shots up by accident. It's definitely part of the plan. Your coaches know you can hit shots. So I wasn't at all surprised to see him absolutely smashing. I was surprised to see him get 10 rebounds. That was not part of the plan. I will take that every single day. And congratulations again to the Sensabaugh. I'm sure that was a pretty big day for you. That's going to get you a contract for years to come, if not in the United States, in a number of other leagues. So congratulations. That was dope. So for today, we have two pieces of news. I'm making it a little early, even though I don't need to today. I'll watch there be huge news right after. But because there's just two pieces of big news, and we already know what they are, so this early day consideration seems somewhat more useful than regular. So first of all, cat's out. We know cat's out, torn or a ripped meniscus or something. It stinks. I hate that. It's a bad. I think you have to, I don't remember if you have to have surgery. I've had like that before. I didn't have surgery. So I guess you don't have to and it can heal. Or I just have it. Yeah, that's the other thing. I just have ruined knees. So that's probably part of it. But yeah, when he's gone, Luka Garza's not really getting minutes when you look at the full game sample. So this is like all the snippets of minutes where Cat's off the court, but that's not really relevant. Let's look at the two games where Cat was completely missing and they had to plan what to do. Well, couple differences from what we're getting from the current game sims from SaberSim, which I mean, like, go SaberSim, I am thankful we were so close on that yesterday. Plus, yeah, yesterday for the first time in a while, if you're a long time watcher, sorting lineups, come on, man, it's been like half an hour. What are we doing over here? But anyway, so I used min for uniques. So I'm now gonna, preach that because I had seen all of a sudden I saw Sheets was hitting and I saw he started putting his method. And he's like, yeah, I just started doing 4 uniques because what Jordan said to or whatever. And Jordan does say to, and I've been for a while, I've been like, oh yeah, that makes you lower risk, lower reward, whatever. I can't I can't credibly make the argument it's lower risk, lower reward when it worked for Sheets, it worked for me. So oh yeah, let's do one second of review at some point, but I guess yeah, let's do the review before we talk about the slate. And get back to the slate. Let me make sure the build's actually happening somewhere. Okay, good. I don't know what was going on there. I hate it when that gets frozen. I'm using the beta. You should always use the betas from SaberSim because like the freshest product gives you the best edge. So when I was looking at the look back, the guy who won had a positive sim ROI for the first time in a while yesterday. You know why? Because all the best plays smashed, and he played Sensabaugh. So congratulations to J Bud picks. He was all over the top, and I'm pretty sure all those lineups had. Oh, Giant Squid, nice. Yeah, I knew it was a big Saber Sim night up there as well. Early on, it looked like Max was going to pull it off. Where did he even land? Ooh, sorry about that, Max. I pass you? I guess I did. Well, congratulations to me. Beat shit my money. That's good. But wait, wasn't Max? I thought Max was leading. Wasn't Max Steinberg like up at the top for a while? I thought he won. Well, anyway, what am I thinking of? I was pretty sure J Bud picks Dak, Rambo. Oh, whatever. I thought he was up there somewhere. I guess it really changed because Exumian was up there at first before the Fox push. Obviously, Fox lineups will be up here at the top. Fox, man, what a game. I mean, they're all layups. I mean, a couple shots. Okay, a couple threes. All right. Oh yeah, I wanted to do a little bit more of analysis 50K, 50K, 49.9, 49.9. 50K, 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 49.9, 50K, 50K. We're only still going because we just got to my lineup. So Bone Dogs lineup. I just wanted to point out that's a pretty dope sim ROI, right? Even though I'm not running the sims, that doesn't mean you're not capable of producing lineups that are sim positive lineups. Like, can I do that now? I think I can. Hey, let's do that. So when I go to all contests. Oh yeah, and I go to players and I go to users. I can hash it to my specific lineups and look at the sim ROI. So you can just see, I mean, obviously they won't all be positive, but positive, positive, negative, negative, positive. And this is in order of their actual points. So, the point about negative sim ROIs needing to be in the mix remains. You need to have some weird combinations. Oh, that's my Madden overlay timer. But I already checked the Madden overlay. I'm never letting Madden overlay slip. And you guys are also clogging it up here in the early times now because enough of you listen to the show that I have to time it. So I'm poaching overlay at the next time, which means I do need to double check that my alarm is going to go off in 2 hours, like I expect it to. Boop, 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 boop. That one goes off in 30 seconds. Well, let's just cut that off at the head and add our 2 hour timer right now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I did a great job yesterday. I don't know why we're still looking at that. Great job. Oh, I was going to see the range of salaries. Yeah, 200. I allowed a little bit more on the late swapping because I was just kind of at one point there was a panicky late swap in there, so I allowed a bunch of salary in addition to relaxing the maxes with like 5 minutes to go. You know how it goes. But no, that didn't change very much. I think everything was pretty close to locked in by then. Okay, so with Cat off the floor, curious things that you may not expect. Number one, Jaden McDaniels playing 33 minutes a game. Pretty high. We are projecting for that, but in those 33 minutes, 31 points, 8 points higher usage. You might not be accounting for the huge, that's 33% increase in usage for this guy. So, yes, that's 2 full games. Maybe he doesn't go off or whatever, but who else is going to do what? I mean, like, he has to do something. So I think you're going to get more Jaden McDaniels than is currently being projected. He's going to be a place I'm massively over the field. Gobert, but I mean, like, is that news? I can't imagine that the Gobert amount that where's okay, yeah, I need to bump Gobert just a little. Well, are they thinking he doesn't get 36 minutes? No, that's 38. Okay, so this is just too low for Gobert. And then let's double check for Gobert. Oh, oops, was that was in my pictures? So my pictures Gobert 44.65, and that was in 36 minutes. So what I want to do is I want to add 9.8. Let me just add 9.8 to his base projection. So for Gobert, 9.8 to his 42.5 is a lot. He's going to be like definitely good and probably a core play today. So I don't even want to do all that just because in terms of where he winds up, I think him and Ant are probably, I guess, a toss-up. Is that something I can feel? Where was the picture? Here it is. Ant, no, it's not something you can feel. If you have to make sure that Ant is prioritized over Gobert. So, but besides that, yeah, I kind of like where this is heading. So I'll just slightly prioritize Ant over Gobert, but not over Durant. I think Durant still has a little bit more median and upside, but yeah, Ant can be core. Gobert can be core, or like there's a lot of guys here who benefit, right? So I'm not sure they're going to be core, but they're like solid above 30% is where I put my solid limit. So above there, I start talking about people as core, even though I don't always get to 65% on a core member. You know what I mean? That's why I published the core and the more. We got Larry. I thought Lonnie Walker was midday downgrade. I'm pretty sure I unclicked him earlier. When people are a midday downgrade, I assume there's a 2/3 chance they don't play. So the maximum I would have is 33% at this point in the day, because that's a 1/3 chance he plays. That's based on Laplace's rule of succession. You can look it up yourselves and decide whether or not you think my application of it makes any sense. It's not what Laplace did it for. Okay. Well, it's actually pretty much exactly the case. I mean, it's not injuries to, it's pretty close. Yeah, I'm gonna allow 98% Zach Collins, and I'm not gonna stick with it. I probably swap off because I can't imagine 98% of my lineups will be wanting me to do the chalk thing at 7 p.m. today. But, until 650, I want maximum flexibility. What if they start like Barlow or something, some weird stuff? The dude popped always doing weird stuff, right? If there's one thing Pop will do, it is weird stuff. And honestly, I used to preach forks, but yesterday was the first day in a while I said, let's let SaberSim handle the forks. Let's check it. Barlow right now. What does his distribution looks like? I love this. Yeah, I love it. SaberSim's doing the forking themselves. We don't need to really like it looks like they're sampling this distribution of low times for when the starter does well, and we got a peak, and then when he comes in with the foul trouble, right? And let's check the correlation. Who's the most negatively correlated? Zach Collins, 0.13. That's even higher than yesterday. Yesterday it was only 8% with Zubats, and that was probably right, right? They could both get there. You saw Zubats go out, right? He went out at halftime. Now, granted, it didn't benefit Theis, it benefited Plumlee, but still the negative correlation from the game sim made sense. I've liked this. This is something that's only been there for the last 2 weeks. So for about like, I guess a week and a half now, we've had a little bit of a hat on a hat when we've been using the forks, I think. So for now, I'm using less rules and it worked out really well. So, oh yeah, and I wanted to do the other thing we did yesterday for the first time, 4 min uniques. Lowers my amount of Zach Collins. That's probably fine. It's just a necessary evil. And it's also because even if Zach Collins does well, whether or not he winds up being optimal, I don't know. I mean, I still think this is 73% is not too much. But regardless, I like 4 min uniques in terms of secret sauce, right? I mean, it's a change I made that immediately profited. So what am I going to do? But do it again. So 49.8 to 50K. It's not science. I haven't done an A/B test, but if in the A/B test that is life, this thing seems to be winning. All right. So what did I do with the 2 games that have players that are out? The other game is Phoenix. So we talked a little bit about Minnesota. I'll just briefly summarize where we were at with Minnesota before I move on. We are at massively overweight Jaden McDaniels. Oh yeah, a smidge of Monty Morris. Monty Morris gets good usage in whatever minutes he does get and could get extended. I mean, in the case of either a blowout, a faster game than expected against Indiana, Mike Conley is old. I mean, like there's a number of reasons you might not play a zillion of Mike Conley. You might wind up with some. The reason it's not Nickeil Alexander Walker is the price point. He just doesn't have the upside. There's two guys above him still, and yeah, he needs to pay off like some 4,300 price point versus 3,800 for Monty with roughly the same upside. It's just like 10% less. It's easier to get to. 10% still a lot. We'll see if we actually stick with 10%. Might be like 5%. With the non-speculative plays, obviously you get to some Nas Reed. He's not that great though, just because like they don't play him that much. If they played him a fair amount, if he started, great, but they're going to start SloMo, right? So that's our thing, right? If they start Nas, then you can go massively Nas. But I'm just going to match the field. I think the field's right at about 20% Nas because he's appropriately priced. Besides that, yeah, it doesn't look like we're getting to all that much of Ant and Gobert, even with them at relatively inflated projections. Okay, then besides that, let's look at Phoenix. I assume we're getting to, yep, as much as we want. Well, actually, that's below my max of Brad Beal, and I've got him bumped up. So I bumped up Beal, I bumped up Nurkic, and I bumped up Grayson Allen based on the court IQs. Let's go and look at them. You can also always join us at the Discord. I really appreciate you guys watching the video. It's really cool that like 100 of you guys check this out every single day. That's awesome. I'm glad, one every 100 days it can be me that shows the screenshot. But I like it when you guys win. I really do. And because like, yeah, the method should work more often than my 100 whatever entries, than your 100 entries. And it's fun to see it work. And it should be fun. Otherwise, what do we don't keep doing if it's not fun. That's problem gambling. So. All right, yeah, not that much Nurk, but tons of, well, I expected more Grayson Allen. I guess he's at 6K on a slate with some other value, so not that much Grayson Allen, but 15% for shooter, perfect amount. That's kind of what I'm thinking for Beal. Do I really want to go all the way to 46% for a shooter? Seems a bit dicey. I'm gonna cap him at 30. Well, what are we expecting for his peripherals? 4 rebounds, 5 assists. So a baseline of like 7.5, 12, 13. So 75% of, yeah, okay, 30% is fine. Because 75% of his value is coming from scoring. So if he doesn't hit his shots, 30% gets you to about 30. I just want a little less Beal also. Just a little uncomfortable with that amount. Okay, and okay, cool. So let's see. Anything else? Background exposures. Oh, is that Collins? No. Yeah, obviously we're getting to some Spurs. No big news there. That's a fair amount of Mikal Bridges. Who are they playing? Brooklyn, Detroit. Oh, what a game. Let's look at Detroit. Let's look at this. I haven't noticed that Detroit is going to be in a competitive game. It's always fun because you get to make sure that all of their starters are actually projected for the correct amount of minutes. Cade, 38, check. Duran, 32 seems low. Against Brooklyn, against Claxton, how many minutes do they project Claxton for? Because I project that Duran will guard Claxton. Claxton for 35 minutes. So if we project that Duran successfully guards Claxton, we give him 3 more minutes. Yeah, I think he just can't get away from that. Don't understand what's going on there. I mean, projecting some foul trouble, fine, but I'm going to do a little bit of a tweak there just because I think he's a little bit better player. Okay. Now, Claxton as well. He plays more like, okay, so let me think about this. Claxton, is he getting more minutes ever? I thought they're not playing Dayron that much. 33, 33, 34. No, okay. 34 is a good amount. 34 and a half just to make him kind of good. I get that. That's fine. Okay, so, but yeah, you're still not going to get to very much. Yeah, that's fine. All right, what about Schroeder? He'd play more in a, yeah, 34. Yeah. Jalen Wilson, yikes, dude. He had a good shooting game last game. Is that where, I mean, he's fair, he's kind of high usage, but 23 minutes, is he getting that? What? Wasn't that a blowout? Jalen Wilson stats. Yeah, right. The Sixers. That game was a blowout. Let's check. I think it'll say right on the game log. No, it wasn't a blowout. Played 23 minutes. Okay. Well, he's fine value. Can't talk myself off him. Oh, and I definitely wouldn't talk myself off of him, given that I am assuming Lonnie Walker's out. Let me click this out. Oh no, right. I said 2/3 chance. All right. All right. I remember. I remember when I said 2/3 chance. I promise. Okay, so Mikal Bridges in this game, yes. You can have Mikal Bridges for 40 minutes. Mikal Bridges at 40 minutes should, yeah, he's great value. Doesn't normally get 40 minutes. Love it. Yep. Look at this. We got everybody on this entire game lit up. That's appropriate. You want a bunch of this game. And yeah, uh, a fair amount of Lonnie if he's in, obviously, but mostly I think, yeah, I would probably expect to get more of the Detroit guys. What's going on with our Fontecchio and like Stu? We're not giving Stu minutes. 26. What's going on there? Is he not ever getting minutes? Um, oh, is he allowed to play? Stewart stats. Wasn't he charged with like assault? 36 minutes. All right. Well, that's what I was thinking. He he gets a lot more minutes than that in a competitive game. I think I have to wind up on beef stew. Because 26 is inappropriate for a competitive game, I think. Oh, that's Simone. Okay, so Simone 26, 32 for Stu. 32 is closer. 32 is closer. I don't know if I need to boost that, but I will, just because I think there's a chance he covers a little. Let's look at his distribution. I think there's a chance he covers for other guys' foul trouble. Yeah, I think that's what this is. I don't think that's really him getting extended, like a not fouling. I think that's him getting to come back in early because Claxton, or not because Duran got in foul trouble or whatever, covering the backup five a little. So I'm gonna give him a little smidge more on maybe he covers a few minutes of backup five and bump him up to a little above the field because I think I like he can get up to a few more minutes than he is projected for. What about Fontecchio? Because I know he had a big splash and he's a shooter. I thought he was getting 30 minutes in a competitive game. Yeah, 30 minutes. So is this in 30 minutes they're giving him 23 points? No, they're giving him 26 minutes. Yeah, you got to give Fontecchio 4 more minutes than that. So 27 for Font. Yeah, he's an okay play. That's what I was expecting to see here. Because, I mean, he's the shooting guard for this team, right? I mean, not that that's a big deal, but, behind Cade, obviously, but Cade, Ivy's not going to be taking that many shots. I mean, he's out there, but he's just kind of soaking up usage. He's already high priced from the past, right? 5'5", yeah. So that's why we're not getting to as much Ivy as the rest. But I think we will be getting to a fair amount more Fontecchio and Stu. And I just, this game in general, because I think it might be also a game where I want to look at their pace because NBA pace stats because they're not good teams, right? Like why is this game projected for low? I mean, it's projected for low points because the guys add up to bad. But if we look at advanced pace for what Brooklyn and Detroit, uh oh, 25, for Brooklyn, but their defensive rating is 116. So, okay. And Detroit is up here, and their defensive rating is 119. I have it at a 116, 119. That's kind of what my expectation is a lot more points in this game because it's going to be close. Normally, these teams don't score points because they're getting beaten down and they sub out their subs, or they sub out their starters. That happens a fair amount. So I'm going to go 116 for Detroit and 119 for Brooklyn. And then I'm just going to smash this game to the moon because that's the way I feel about it. Like neither one of these teams is used to playing in a competitive game, and both have guys who can really put up stats in like small rotations here. So it's going to wind up forcing a bunch of those guys in there. Okay. It applied to it applied it to the games automatically, and so as a result, a bunch of these guys are, huh? Did that really not change very much at all? Huh? Let's have a look. Oh, it didn't apply. Huh? What's going on there? Well, something might be broken in the beta. I'll let them know about that. But normally, when you apply a change to the team stacks, it asks you, do you want to apply this to all the games? And then it applies it across the projections of the game sims to take a sample. Maybe I was too far apart and it can't do that. Regardless, I want more. I want more exposure to this game. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to do it manually or if I can figure out another way. But um, yeah, that you heard my point. That's all I got. Um, yeah. So your core, you're playing Spurs. You're playing Spurs, and I guess you're playing some McCall Bridges. Yeah, 43. Yeah, he's only 7. Absolutely, those are core. And then you've got Jokic, SloMo, Doncic, guys who score points. That's next up. Who do you think going to score points? Then you get McDaniels. So that's probably where I cut off McDaniels and Gobert and Ant-Man, all the guys from Cat being out. And then beyond that, Lonnie if he plays, and if he's out, other guys from that team like fly up the list. But not that far because we got four men unique, so they can't fly up that far. All right, guys. You see what we're doing. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us. It was us.